My gosh, this video is insane. The spokesperson for the State Department refuses to call the sexual assault and torture of a detainee a war crime.
In Israeli detention camps. Does that constitute a war? Israeli police detained soldiers yesterday or the day before yesterday, suspected of raping a Palestinian, sparking protests and so on. Apparently, rape and killing and torture and all this thing, it happens regularly in Israeli detention camps. Does that constitute a war crime to you?
So the reports of abuse are deeply concerning, and we have been clear and consistent with Israel and the IDF that they need to treat all detainees humanely and with dignity in accordance with humanitarian law. We also, I spoke a little bit about this earlier in the week, Said. We reiterate the support that the IDF is investigating some of these allegations of serious abuse of Palestinian detainees. And that is news that we welcome. And we're going to let that process, and we believe in due process, and we're going to let that process play out.
2 quick points. Now, if proven to be true, that does constitute a war crime, doesn't it?
I'm not a legal expert, Said. It certainly, I imagine it would be inconsistent with Israeli law. And so, of course, that is why we have been clear that the treatment of any detainee needs to be consistent with international humanitarian law.
I like how they always say the same thing. They always go, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'll have to get back to you. I didn't hear that. And they just come up with a bunch of ridiculous excuses. They'll be like, Spox means spokesperson. It's like a shorthand for spokesperson. But then they'll be like, no, but the thing is that I know their job is supposed to spin things, but what happens is when it comes to the Israeli regime or when it comes to Russia, they'll say it is fact. Oh, how dare they? We heard this. They did this. They need to be held accountable for this without even having any evidence. But then when it comes to facts that we know about, then they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you. Thank you. Perry Stein, the first very generous supporter to give me a super chat today. $5. Thank you so much. I am a little over an hour and 13 minutes into this stream, and you are my first super chat. Thank you so much, Perry. I appreciate you and everybody that supports my work and the content that I create. I love you. Thank you very much. Did you hear about the pro-Palestinian protester who was pepper sprayed in Times Square yesterday? Yes. Insane. Literally being like, oh, I don't have to help you because, oh my gosh, where was that? Times Square. Maybe we can find it. Actually, I'll try pepper spray.
Wow, I'm burning myself.
Medical services arrived. Where's the refusal? I thought there was a video of it. I guess not. This Israeli genocide supporters just walking around pepper spraying people. And then you have propagandists like Andy No being like a pro-Israeli woman who was surrounded by Palestinian mob and hit with a liquid in Times Square, pepper sprays all over. Wait, they always frame it as if they're the victim. Totally insane. I'm going to find the protesters. This is it. Protesters have breached Bay Lead, attempting to free soldiers accused of torturing. I didn't realize that this was a video at first from a propagandist. I should have known. I like how they said accused of torturing a Hamas terrorist detainee. See? This is what I said. Everything I don't like is Hamas. There is literally zero evidence that the person that they were torturing, that they were raping in detention, had anything to do with Hamas. No evidence. But like I said earlier in the first story we were talking about the journalists that they murdered, all they have to do is say, but Hamas, and it's over. That's it. They're like, oh, first of all, it was already confirmed. Pass the collection plate around for... First of all, thank you, Theater, for the second super chat that I've been given. Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you all so much that support this channel, become members, give super chats, donate. It really means a lot to me. It makes it so that I can continue to do this. But I honestly think you're onto something with this. I feel like St. Blakeley, I want someone to draw a video of me or a photo of me And as like saints, you have like really tacky backgrounds, like the Catholic shit, and then I'm going to put it on a shirt. Come at me. Thank you. Thank you. All right, bye, stuff. I just can't with this. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. Everything I don't like is Hamas. Everyone is Hamas. We're going to defend rapists, literal actual people being tortured and detained and raped, and just call them Hamas. Just call them Hamas. This guy was not a part of Hamas, by the way. And actually, of course he took it down. He didn't want people to see it, of course, because it makes it look bad. I don't know what happened to Elon Musk, but he seems to be like a fed for the Israeli regime now. So you have this video of them protesting for the right, okay? They're trying to protest for the right, okay, to sexually abuse people, sexually assault prisoners. Genocide people took the morning off to protest a trans punk. That turned out not to be trans. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Of course they did. Of course they did. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're protesting. For anybody that doesn't know, and I'm sure that most of you that are watching, you're pretty plugged in, you do know, but for anybody who might not, they're protesting because they're mad that a couple soldiers actually got detained for actually raping a Palestinian in detention. They're mad that those soldiers might be held accountable. That's what they're mad about. Not that the soldiers sexually assaulted someone and tortured them. Not about that. They're mad at the idea of them being held accountable. There is something wrong with this society. Yes, gang rape. They gang raped this person. There is something seriously wrong with a society that is mad at the idea of accountability for a rapist than they are for the actual crime that happened. They're chanting death to Arabs. All-right politicians were reported to be among the protesters, of course. 9 soldiers were detained over substantial abuse of a Palestinian prisoner. Allegedly took place in the detention facility of Bro, the IRF are vicious. So the fact that they actually detained someone means it must have been really bad. Like, it's not unique. This is not unique. The IOF does this to Palestinians all the time. So the fact that they actually detained some of the soldiers means that it must have been pretty severe. And you have lunatics coming into this base protesting against them being held accountable. Against them being, I still just can't get over it. It's insane. Israeli media and the injury showed signs of sexual assault.
It happens. It shouldn't happen. I won't say it's a good thing, but I think that as country that wants to live, we need to punish this terrorist more.
Are you serious? Are you serious? What? I don't understand this. You're actually being like, listen, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think we need to punish the terrorists. What happened to really funny about this how revealing this is that they constantly say that they should be treated better internationally because unlike the Palestinians, they are civilized. Like, you hear that a lot. You hear that a lot. Oh, well, unlike the Palestinians, we're civilized. You call this civilized? You say that you should get special privileges because you're civilized and they're not. This is civilized to you? Civilized behavior? I've never seen people be excited that someone's getting tortured. Not even here. Not even here. Not even here. And I know, okay, I'm saying this in defense of the United States. The United States is not only complicit, obviously, in this genocide. We have done horrific things throughout the years. But I'm talking about after 9/11 specifically, when it was leaked that Americans were torturing people at Abu Ghraib, it was a scandal. That's not defense of the country, government, the powers that be, or the military. It's only to point out that the regular average citizen in the United States was offended by what they saw happen to the people in Abu Ghraib. We're not cheering it. Like, this is psycho.
Middle of war.
You're
In the middle of
it.
war.
So
this is
started-
not a war.
In the middle of a war.
You're not interrogating anybody. You're not interrogating anybody. That's not happening. That's not a thing. You're just taking them and torturing them.
It's wrong.
How is this civilized? The protesters also tried to breach the court where the soldiers were taken. Explain to me how that's civilized.
If they touch our soldiers, we'll build a shield wall. The people will rise up against the government, be it left or right or whatever. Nobody can touch our soldiers.
Excuse me. First of all, why is that guy a whole ass white supremacist? That guy literally looks like he just got out of like the Aryan nation. Oh, that's number one. Second of all, nobody can touch our soldiers. That's a psychotic thing to say. I would never say that about the United States. If there is a soldier that commits a crime, his ass should be in jail, period. Why are you defending the crimes? What happened to we're the most moral army? What happened to that? How you guys were the most moral army? Henry, that's some bullshit they don't tell you. I've had people tell me that, and that's so messed up, like the censorship regime. People have told me they will click the bell. Like they subscribe to my channel, they click the bell to get notifications when I'm live, and they still don't get them. Sus. They'll say that at least Palestinians have died to the abuse. Just the abuse. I can't. It's just hard to take in because it's so horrific. And then it's so hard because it's like you want to believe, I'm only speaking for myself, but you want to believe that like in a civilized world, laws, international law, that somebody would see these people talking about this, what's happening to them, see the crimes against humanity that is being perpetrated against the Palestinians and say, no, we're stopping this now. We're stopping this now. And it's like hard to try to and process the fact that no, it's not. It's not. The world is fine with it and nothing is being done. There is no international law. I also like when people try to smear Al Jazeera and go like, well, actually, Al Jazeera is Hamas and it's funded by Qatar. It's like, are you really trying to say that their press is not legitimate, but ours is? Come on. Really? Our press is a joke. Our press is corporate propaganda. Our press is Zionist garbage. It's a joke. It's all for profit. And you want to talk about Al Jazeera not being a legitimate press? Please. As a child. Oh, yeah, I know. That's what we're told when we're growing up. It's about, and also in the West, you know, you're taught that it's for our freedoms, you know. They hate us Muslims. Yeah, now suddenly everything from Al Jazeera is Hamas. It's just so crazy. Wait, what would I do if I'm trying to find the video in the Knesset? Israel detainee Knesset? It was so insane. I want to find the video where the elected official in the Knesset is like, yeah, but is rape really bad? I'm trying to think of how to word that. I feel like I hear mice in my walls and I don't, but I'm not sure. But I feel like it, like I'm hearing it. Oh, here it is. All right, I'm going to read it. I literally hear mice in my walls. This is crazy. Or at least it sounds like it's coming from the wall. Okay, so this is the Knesset members. Okay, these are elected officials. Debate on whether or not it's legitimate to rape their detainees. Like I genuinely was having a hard time like believing it when I read. And not that I'm so surprised by things that they do at this point, but there are still some things that like you're taken aback by. Like I'm like, wait, are you what?
ואני אומר עכשיו, ואני קורא
I call on other members to do
כמוני, ואני יוצא מפה.
I'm getting up and there's someone who thinks it's going too fast. Hold on. And I'm not going to go until this insanity that there is someone in this prosecutor's office who thinks that it is possible to come and arrest soldiers for things they are doing to the Nakba terrorists. It's not over.
Okay.
And I am really asking, and I think my coalition friends will do well if they do the same. To insert a stick in a person's rectum, is that legitimate? Shut up. Yes, if he is a Nakba, everything is legitimate to do. That's what I want to know, the person said back. Do you know what these people did? Basta, never mind. What, we're doing Italian now? There are things you don't do. Well, I guess it's good that there's one person there that's like, hey, you know, rape is bad. These are the people that are calling themselves civilized over Palestinians, saying that they're the civilized ones and the Palestinians are not. If they're supposed to be universal human rights, they're supposed to be universal human rights, and certain things that you do not do. That's kind of the point of international law, where that is supposed to be. The reason why we fucking have international law is because we're supposed to have a collective set of rules and lines we don't cross. There is supposed to be a set of human rights that apply to everybody and a line that we don't cross. And this ghoul is saying, nah, of course there's not. Of course there's not a line that you cross. There can't be a line crossed. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you one thing though, something that has happened, and I think they really did not intend for this to happen, is that so many people now understand that they're way worse than any of us thought. Like, I don't think they realize, yeah, for real, Iori, they say. I don't think they realize, as they're trying to do this quote unquote defensive campaign, how much they're just who they really are to the entire world. To the entire world. It's like the whole world is seeing you now. So you're not meeting your goal, really. Because your goal, as far as I understand it, was keeping up that Hasbara. Your goal, to some degree, your goal was supposed to be to keep up this Hasbara and make everybody think that you were just victims. What you have done is reveal yourself to who you really are to the whole world. This needs to be studied. How do you claim that you're going somewhere to find safe haven for yourself, and then you become the exact genocidal monsters you're claiming to be escaping? Someone make that make sense.